Midweek USL League One action takes us out west to Fresno, California, where Central Valley Fuego take on North Carolina FC. It's a third meeting between the sides of 2023, and North Carolina looking to keep pace to the top of the table with a clean sweep over Fuego FC. You can see those standings right here. In third place, North Carolina FC, a chance to move top with the 3 points. Been a tough year for Central Valley Fuego. Bottom of the standings, eliminated as well. North Carolina, one of the 3 sides that have already booked their spot in the 2023 USL League One playoffs. A chance with this midweek game to take a leap up the standings for Fuego. It's now the 5th match under the new head man Edison Gonzalez, the interim HC. They were averaging just under a goal a game prior to the coaching change. Since coming in, Gonzalez saying that he's letting the players have a bit more freedom in attack, just letting them work, play the beautiful game, and you're seeing this brilliant goal by Billy Forbes, just an example of the individual talent they have up top. And in their 4 games under Gonzalez, they have scored 6 goals at an average of 1.5 per game, so an up in this most recent coaching change. Number 3 keeper and coaches of the year for Central Valley Fuego. On the flip side, for the visitors, they are a team with potent attackers, most notably Olex Anderson Jr. and Garrett McLaughlin. They were part of last year's team that finished bottom of the league, and this year they have come back with a vengeance. Starting today will be Olex Anderson. Won't have his key man with him. We're seeing the combo effort the two of them provide up top. But McLaughlin and Anderson both very capable up front. And talking to John Bradford, he said that the struggles they had last year gave them an appreciation for what it takes to get the 3 points. And with those two up front, they have very capable scorers, capable of sticking them into the back of the net. Well, Edison Gonzalez said there is nothing for Central Valley Fuego to lose, so expect some goals in this one as NCFC looks to capitalize on drop points by playoff rivals. Got some changes to show you in the lineups as we gear up for kickoff from Fresno. Central Valley Fuego, North Carolina FC, other side of this break.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The players are taking the field at Fresno State Soccer Stadium in Fresno, California. The Fuego taking on North Carolina FC for the 3rd time in 2023. The previous 2 matchups going the way of NCFC. We can check out the highlights from these past 2 matches between these sides. First off, the teams playing back on May 5th. This time, it was in Fresno. Both goals heading the way of North Carolina. First, Rafa Mensingen in the 32nd minute, and then Luis Perez, a brilliant strike in the 60th minute, made things 2 goals to nail that first meeting heading their way. The first goal would be scored in the second meeting, September 1st. Second meeting in September for these two sides. Lexi Cerritos would put home a penalty in just the 4th minute of the match. Equalized later on. Jaden Cervania with a brilliant low finish off of a free kick. And then in the 89th minute, DJ Benton climbs highest, and that one just about crosses the goal line That was a 2-1 win at the beginning of the month. Here are your starting lineups. First off for the hosts under Edison Gonzalez for the 5th time. 4 changes to show you. Jesus Partida, Jordan Chavez, Angel Ruelas, and Paul Lewis. Lewis making his debut. The 4 changes from their 2-0 defeat at Northern Colorado last time out. Likely going to run a similar 4-4-2 formation with Ruelas and Forbes, the 2 men leading the line for Gonzalez. On the flip side, North Carolina running a similar shape from what they've had in recent matches. It was a tough come-from-behind defeat they suffered against Tormenta at home. They've made 1 change. Coming out of the 11 is Garrett McLaughlin. Into the 11 is Olex Anderson. Still a very similar, very capable group as they deal with some injury issues towards the back end of this year. John Bradford trying to help his team get back to winning ways after defeat last time out. They held a lead late on in that one, but coming from behind was Tormenta to keep their playoff hopes alive and spoil the fun for the hosts. That's now the aim for North Carolina, trying to be the side going onto the road and make things uncomfortable. As you see Luis Perez, the man standing in the center circle in the white and blue kits. The visitors will be getting us going from left to right, and in the red and black, the hosts from right to left. Waiting for the whistle from Olvin Oliva. We will get it, and we'll be underway. Round 3 between Fuego and North Carolina. A chance for NCFC to go top. Initial header knotted down. Ruelas chasing for it. Flores Blanco. His pass blocked away. Omar Lemus, the man providing the defensive duties on the far-hand side. Jack Edwards with you in this one. Should be a fun one, our second of 2 games this midweek in USL League One. Already tonight we had Forward Madison and Northern Colorado play to a 0-0 draw. With that draw, it means that North Carolina could go top with a win. We'll see how tonight's match will play out indeed. Lou Young. Here's Luis Perez. Clever work up the right-hand side. Lou Young into the box, an early chance just past the outstretched boot of Olex Anderson. And CFC threatening early. Mensingen into the box, headed away by Chavez. And Forbes can try and offer some hold-up play. He'll bring in a teammate. Run into the channel. Ruelas edged off of it. Well done defensively. You saw the graphic on the top left of your screen. Fuego looking for their first win against North Carolina this season. The first 2 heading the way. Oh, just a lot of confidence there, and the whistle will relieve Brooks Thompson, who invited a lot of pressure, just dragging that one back, looked confident throughout, and he was brought down. So on that instance, no major threat. We'll see it again. Always put a bit of a pit in your stomach when you see the goalkeeper playing around in front of his goal with it, but dragging it back on Victor Falk, who his dragged leg brought down Thompson. The free kick was given the way of the visitors. No wins in 10 for Fuego. Been a tough run of form for them. They've been scoring some goals, having some solid moments. That one's left by Anderson Jr. The low shot, what a save. Will it break kindly? The flag will go up in the end. We'll see who it was on. Olex Anderson was in an offside position, but he left it. We'll see if that was, in the end, called on him. Mensingen was in an onside position when he shot. The end result is offside. Let's check out a replay here. You just see Olex Anderson coming from an offside position, just left it cleverly. It looks like Nathan Ntalu was also onside, so might have been initially on Olex Anderson was the offsides call, but the end result could have been a foul there as well on Ntalu. It'll be a chance here for Paul Lewis, called into action very early on his debut. He was a trialist earlier on this season, but they were wondering if they were going to bring him in as a third-choice keeper. But now injuries to Mitch North, getting a scan himself. He'll not be available for the rest of the year, potentially, for Fuego, so they felt the need to bring him in. Matthias Fernandez, the man who has been playing in goal several times, started the first match under Edison Gonzalez since he stepped into the interim head coaching role. A 3-3 draw with Richmond was his first match at the helm. The search is ongoing for the long-term, full-time football manager for the side, as Lou Young does well to keep that one in play. But Lewis, impressed in trial, has, according to Gonzalez, stepped in well with the group. Gelled as this one's turned over. Victor Falk has a chance to play it to Forbes. Billy Forbes, first time, and it's just wide of goal. Appeals, that took a deflection. It did indeed. It'll be our first corner of the match. It'll be for the hosts. We'll see it again as it was one back well. Just a poor pass right into the feet of Victor Falk. Quickly got his head up, picked out Billy Forbes, and dive in and make the challenge was David Garcia. El Mexicano sponsoring this corner kick. It'll be Falk making his way over. Offer an in-swinging option with his right foot. Falk to whip it in. Into the 18. It'll sit up and a chance for Mensingen to bring it down to the ground. You can look ahead to try and play it forward. Talu will press. Dabo playing it wide and we'll get it back. Poor pass. Perez gets onto it. A lot of white shirts forward. First pass blocked, and Talu could pick up the loose one. That might spin kindly for Anderson, but the flag goes up. He was offsides. Anderson wanted or found the box, but he was in an offside position when it was kicked by Ntalu. So it'll be a free kick for Fuego. You can see Paul Lewis, though, in his debut. His college years at Loyola Marymount. Charleston Battery back in 2020, his pro debut in 21 for the Battery. Made an early low save on Mensingen. Debatable if it would have counted had it sneaked past him, but he made sure that wasn't an issue as he'll be tested. Just keeping that one in play. Throw in for North Carolina. Ntalu offering a bit of hold-up play. Mensingen plays it out on the right. Cleared away. Vital clearance on the ball in from Flores Blanco. Carrera Garcia playing it back to his keeper. Forbes, nice bit of strength, able to knot it down to Carrera Garcia. Strong footwork in the center of the park. Just slide one to Ruelas. Omar Lemus offering an option on the right-hand side, and Falk will get it out to him. Omar Lemus into the 18. Got ahead to it, Forbes did, but it's over the goal and wide. Billy Forbes getting in and around the action in these first moments for Fuego. That shot, a tough one for him to try and crane towards goal. We'll see it again as Falk finds Lemus offering a forward option on the overlap. Just tough backing away from goal to try and get enough power and accuracy to knot it back towards frame. His high press pays off. Dabo, his pass clipped in, it's blocked, and Thompson can't keep it in play. It's going to be a corner kick. The press working well. Mohamed Dabo able to win the ball for his side and win a corner kick. And we'll give Victor Falk another chance from the dead ball. Pair of assists on the year for Falk, both of them free kicks from deep positions. Picking out Francois Dulis, number 13 on the edge of the 18. Players making their way in, whipped into the box, headed away. Gustavo Fernandez gets ahead to it. Carrera Garcia to Falk. First touch too heavy, and it's well defended by Nelson Flores Blanco. Lets it out for a goal kick. Lou Young down the touchline, out of play. Abdul Razak Cromwell able to toss it back into Chavez. Partida trying to pick out Forbes. It's passed out of play. Falk try and switch play. Pick out his center back Dulis. Carrera Garcia will head it back away from the pressure. Zach Cromwell trying one forward. Ambitious for Ruelas, and he was trying to hold off his defender, but in the end, Thompson off his line can claim. We'll see how they continue to progress into this game under Edison Gonzalez. One of his goals, trying to have the team possess the ball a bit more, build up from deeper positions, be patient in the build up, direct when needed. This one's headed out of play. Zach Cromwell defensively doing his job. Lou Young. Blanco is past, dangerous essentially. Falk gets to it. Dabo can play it to Carrera Garcia. Perez was pressing from a deeper position, but he picks out Ruelas. He's got Lemus out wide. Low into the box. Blocked away on the first try. Rafa Mensingen can pick up the loose one. Talu dropping deeper. Strong hold up, referee not blowing for a foul there. Great switch of play. Rafa Mensingen. Flag goes up though. And Olex Anderson, his joy cut off. He's in one-on-one. Very pacey player, loves to play on the last shoulder of the defense. We've seen him with several offsides already being called. That's the risk reward he loves to play. He puts himself in those spots. An ever dangerous and ever present goal scoring threat. Yeah, you can see just that left knee looked to be just offside as Mensingen played it to him, and there were appeals by the entire back line for Fuego, who almost pleading the assistant referee to offer them some respite, as Olex Anderson, incredibly dangerous. He's got a head full of steam towards goal. Here's Lewis, pressed by Perez. Both teams, their best chances coming off of balls won high up the pitch. Ruelas, his header, will go out of play. Carrera Garcia. Partida. Forbes making a run. Gonna bounce back to Partida. Dabo. No pass from Carrera Garcia. Couldn't quite pick out Forbes. Switch of play, it's a brilliant one. Rafa Mensingen has Anderson in the box, he'll go at himself. Lewis in front of it, he'll stop it. Chavez wanted an offsides, with the assistant referee not abiding. Paul Lewis, though, in his debut, stands tall, makes the save. Forbes. Partida. Carrera Garcia. He's got Falk. Change the point of attack. Omar Lemus offered a lot of license on that far touch line to just roam forward from his right back position. Zach Cromwell almost dropping in as a third center back when in possession. Mohamed Dabo back to Zach Cromwell. Falk. Astute defending. Foul will be called. Referee blowing for a foul against the hosts. Third meeting of the year between these two sides, both of them heading the way of North Carolina. Just the second year of competition between the sides, but not had a sweep in the history of this series. And North Carolina trying to change that tonight, make it 3 wins in 3 against their opponents from California. So it'll be a throw for North Carolina in an advanced spot. And Fuego, obviously conversely, looking for their first win. A match where they're low stakes for them is how it's been kind of described to us by Edison Gonzalez. A chance to experiment, very loose, and a chance to figure out a lot of things as heading forward with Mikey Maldonado. May want to try launching one in here as he'll dry the ball off. Tossed into the 18. Chavez climbs highest. Headed back in. Olex Anderson, bit of strength. It'll sit up. Raheem Summersall onto the right foot. Clipping one. It was an inventive idea, but enough done defensively. That one's knocked out of play. Maldonado, a chance to flip sides. The long throw from the left is cleared away. A chance now from the right. Maldonado launches it into the 18. Headed away, back where it came from. Carrera Garcia can scoop it away. Perez, back to Maldonado. Blanco retrieves. Menzingen. Fernandez is passed forward, picks out Anderson. Olex Anderson, bit of a heavy touch. Big challenge put in. Won't find a friendly face. Garcia. David Garcia. Played back to him. One of the largest spells of possession. As I say that, though, commentator's curse coming into full effect. Carrera Garcia trying to pick out Ruelas, but he'll turn it back over. And North Carolina will resume their possession, quite patient in their build-up for the first 15 minutes. Now flipped over the top. Go all the way back to Lewis in goal. Zach Cromwell trying one forward. It's ambitious and it goes long. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Big header by Perez. It's cleared forward. It'll be a throw for North Carolina. Quickly taken. One back. Carrera Garcia. Forbes, clever touch. Will he be able to get that one? No, he cannot. Trying to combine with Falk. You see in the top right of your screen, though, the result from earlier tonight. Forward Madison holding Northern Colorado to a 0-0 draw. Some chances for both sides. Most notably, a big penalty save by Lalo Delgado kept that one at 0-0. That means that at 53 points are Northern Colorado sitting at the top of the table. 3 points behind them, North Carolina, a chance to move top based on matches won, as Rafa Menzingen. Was he knocked out illegally? Referee says he was. It'll be a free kick for North Carolina. We had a chance to go top, but their last match, as you can see, can retake first with a win. They know from last time out against Tormenta, a team fighting for their playoff lives. 3 points are not a given. They're not able to be won easily in any match. They held a 2-1 lead, conceding in the 82nd minute to Jackson Curry, and then in the 94th minute to lose the point. Kingsford Ajay, just a really beautiful goal by Tormenta on the road. Those 3 points keep them in the discussion of a playoff spot, trying to get back to the playoffs as defending champions. Carrera Garcia leaves it, but no red shirt behind him to support. Maldonado trying one forward. His pass just off. Perez a bit frustrated, wanted him to shift it to the right-hand side of attack. Not a great chance for either side to write home about through our first opening moments. Just one shot registered for each team as things stand. As Perez gets his head up. Play essentially to Menzingen. Offsides, though, is Anderson. He puts in the back of the net. I think everyone in the stadium knew, though. Made his run a tad early. Menzingen picked him out well, but Anderson probably a step early. Alex Anderson at this point of the year on to 14 goals, 6 assists. We can see that just well offsides. Turned over. Perez can move centrally. Dangerous pass, just intercepted by Chavez. Vital, and it's a brilliant pass forward to Billy Forbes. 2 with him in support, 1 to the right. Gets it to Lemus. Just underhits his pass. And now maybe a chance to break if they want to. Mensing has a teammate in a lot of space. It's Luis Perez. He's passing behind. Anderson one-on-one. Big save by Lewis. Flag stayed down. Foul committed. Chance is gone for North Carolina now. What a save. One-on-one. Perez, a dangerous chance. You saw the run being made over the back shoulder of the defender, trying to drag it across the keeper, and he dragged his right leg, able to get a knee to it. Paul Lewis saves the biggest chance of the match so far. It's a dangerous spot, though, for Fuego to find themselves in. Perez, his head up, going towards goal on his preferred foot. Alex Anderson able to make a run across the center backs, just cutting between them. Really hard for Chavez to defend. Has to watch the ball, can't really track fully where Alex Anderson's run is coming from. And our first big chance is a one-on-one for Anderson, saved by Lewis. Razak Cromwell. Nice first touch, able to switch play under a bit of pressure. Lewis, Razak Cromwell. Trying one long. Ruelas under it. Bit of press. Was that a foul? Referee says yes, it was. Partida knocking over Lou Young. Foul will be given. Live table in the bottom left of your screen. Currently 1 point for North Carolina, bringing them as they were 2 points behind Northern Colorado. Both teams that have 1 match played over Omaha, who would then be in the driver's seat of the ability to take that 1 spot. Tiebreaker, most importantly in USL League One, is wins. All 3 sides currently on 15 as things stand. This is 1 back. Played into the box. Forbes has a chase. Too much on it for him to get to. Roll out of play. But all 3 sides, they've got some matches between each other. Talking to John Bradford, the next 2 games are huge for North Carolina, on the road against Northern Colorado and then against Union Omaha. Are their next 2 games this coming Saturday and next Friday. Don't want to call it a trap game, but with games against your top 3 rivals following bottom of the league, it's hard to view it as anything else. Is that a foul by Luis Perez? It was. Knocking down Carrera Garcia, and it's a chance of a free kick in a dangerous position to try and serve some into the box. Victor Falk has had some success from similar positions. Luis Perez leaving the scene of the crime. We'll see it again, just quite clear. His left foot, bit sloppy, just leaving it in there right in front of his head coach, John Bradford. He commits the foul and have to do defensive duties on the far side of that 18. Falk the only one over it. 4 red shirts at the edge of the 18-yard box. Carrera Garcia making his way forward as well. Falk to deliver. Headed down. Poked away. Alex Anderson gets a body part to it. Knocked it forward. Falk just had to put a foot through it. And in the end, did well to make sure that a counter couldn't start. Billy Forbes did tug down his opponent. He's frustrated at that call, but the referee saying he used too much force in trying to win it back. It was almost too good to be true. We'll see it again. Certainly a tug. Referee deciding enough for a foul. You can see the records for the two sides. 50 points versus 20 points. A great year for North Carolina. Trying to put themselves in the best possible spot. And interestingly, no draws in these meetings. In behind, dangerous, one-on-one. Flag goes up. The story of our first half, flags for offsides against Olex Anderson. The run's just a moment off, just a step off. But it's the constant threat that he poses, always making those runs over the top. That time, not able to test Sean Lewis legally. He was offsides. Mensingen. Big pressure, paid off. Lemus wins it back. Mensingen will take it off of him though. Good defensive work from the Brazilian. Lou Young. Five offsides to the none so far for Fuego. Just the disparities in the forward play. A slip by Summersall and offering a chance. Mohamed Dabo carrying it forward. His pass just behind Lemus. Offers a chance for North Carolina to get numbers back. They'll get back set defensively as Falk gives it back to Lemus. Both Ruelas and Forbes, the forwards for Fuego, like to receive it at their feet. Almost more players who can kind of drop a bit deeper versus Olex Anderson, certainly on the last shoulder of the defender, trying to get it behind, hoping his teammates can play dangerous passes over the top and he can use his speed to get there first, get one-on-one looks. And those five offsides, just a testament to how aggressive he's being. Nathan Ntalu making his second consecutive start up top. He's brought in quite recently. Those are starts number 1 and 2 for him in the white of North Carolina colors. Falk. Forbes. Billy Forbes, bit of space to drive into. Strong tackle, Raheem Summersall puts a foot in. There's that Cromwell, intervening on the pass. And can play it off to Carrera Garcia. Falk. Julius to Dabo, to Lemus. Pass intercepted. Was that a foul from behind? Referee says yes, it was. It'll be a foul against Fuego. Had to wait for which way it was pointing because there was contact on both sides. Luis Perez, the one adjudged to a foul. Then Talu, flag stays down. Into the box, Anderson! Number 15 for Olex Anderson in a flash. Combining with Nathan Ntalu, they break forward and on the road. North Carolina trying to catapult themselves back top of the table. Question marks over if it was offsides. Was waiting for a flag. We had seen that ruin the joy of Anderson and the forwards for North Carolina all day, but it stayed down and it's 1-0 for North Carolina. See the quick restart by Luis Perez. That one definitely on sides. Just watch the run. The number 9 looks to be in front of the defender when it's kicked. We'll also have to see based on the position that the cross came in from, but a brilliant pass in by Nathan Intalu registers his first assist for North Carolina. He picks out Olex Anderson, makes it number 15 on the year. An outside chance that he could try and chase down Trevor Amon. We'll see if that ends up happening later on in the year. He won't care about the overall numbers. He's got that first one of the year. First one of the match, I should say. How does Fuego respond? Tough one off the ball, just a slip by the goal scorer. Olex Anderson looks very uncomfortable after that. A lot of discomfort for Olex Anderson. We'll see it again, just off the ball. Oh yeah, just a complete skid there. Hope that it's just a coming together of the ankles. There's a slight contact injury there. The ground giving out on him. And moments after scoring, Olex Anderson down in a bit of discomfort. Looks like his right ankle is the one that's getting looked at. That was the one that took the major slide as he tried to plant his right foot going into his left foot as he took a tumble to the ground. So now goals in back-to-back games for Olex Anderson, scored off the bench to make it 2-1 against Tormenta. He came on at halftime for Garrett McLaughlin, so they've got a really nice luxury in terms of their attacking resources. John Bradford, North Carolina do. We'll see if they prepare someone to come on in case Olex Anderson cannot continue in this one. McLaughlin, you'd imagine, the most likely change, considering those are the two guys that swapped out of the 11. But moving on his own, a bit of discomfort. Very positive to see Anderson back to his feet after opening the scoring just a moment ago. Looks like Anderson is going to be continuing, and it's a very positive sign for North Carolina. They'll have to take a moment out of the match regardless. But it was very sporting for Fuego to just stop play after he took a tumble off the ball. Let's see it again. So this is the initial pass. He looks onside on the first one, and Talu does. Try and gauge where this one's played. It looks like he's in front of the defender when that one's put into the box. Olex Anderson constant in the last shoulder of the defender, though, always making those difficult decisions for the assistant referees, and on that time, that instance looks like he was just right on the edge. It's risk and reward, and that time got the full reward, and that is a 1-0 lead for North Carolina. Switch of play. Where's that, Cromwell? Can see back on the field as Olex Anderson Jr. after a brief spell on the sidelines. Chavez to Delis. Lemus. Some space to drive into on the right wing. Just poke it. Ruelas back to Forbes. The two strikers combined outside of the 18. Carrera Garcia to Billy Forbes. Low one, blocked away. Another corner kick given for Fuego. They haven't been able to generate a great chance off of one of these corners, but it'll be their third of the match so far in the live standings. As you see the bottom left of your screen, has North Carolina top of the table. The tiebreaker being matches 1 and 16 versus 15 puts them in 53 there. Falk whips it in. Thompson can claim the header. Does that stay in play? It did. Falk was appealing. but Brooks Thompson doing enough to conceal it from the view of the far side assistant referee. Forward. Alex Anderson, can he get there? Puts one on frame, saved by Lewis. And again, those live standings just to confirm for you. Might have had Omaha just a slight spot above, but they are the side with a match in hand. But they're currently sitting in third place. Outside of that coveted top 2 spots, you get a bye from the quarterfinal round. You jump straight into the semifinals and just get that first host spot. Reduces the variability that exists in playoff formats. Pass is poor. Victor Falk, he's there. Can line one up. It's blocked. He wanted a handball. Raised his hand for it, but it was not given. Wow, just almost a clotheslining there, and the yellow card will be produced. Mohamed Dabo took down Rafa Mensingen. And honestly, on the totality of things, Rafa Mensingen on the break versus the yellow card for Dabo, I think they'll take that every day of the week. We'll see it again. As he just nods it over and just reaches up his left arm. Not terribly malicious, but knows what he's doing. He's stopping the movement of his opponent, and he'll be the first to enter the referee's pocket. Olfen Oliva, the man booking him. So in the center of the park, he'll have to be very careful. Under 10 minutes of this first 45 left. Might have a few minutes of stoppage time considering the goal, the injury stoppage for Alex Anderson. Last 3 meetings dating back to last season have all headed the way of NCFC. Currently trying to make it 4 consecutive, and all 3 here in 2023. Finished bottom of the table last year, but did win the last encounter from these sides in 2022. Summersall had a quiet first 45 after a goal and an assist. Both those came in the second half in their defeat against South Georgia Tormenta. Summersall pass, picks out the ball into the box. Offsides though. Lou Young was offsides when the pass was played to him by Raheem Summersall, the captain, doing well defensively to win it back and just dribble with it. And again, the offsides continue to pile up. Been a big dialogue to this point for North Carolina. It's tough to tell defensively just how Fuego have lined up, if this has just been kind of a product of style, whether it's North Carolina or whether it's Fuego, just how high their line is and how aggressive the defenders are in trying to trap them off sides. Mixture of both definitely playing into things. Ruelas able to slide it back. Chavez, Zach Cromwell, Forbes. He's got some teammates in support. His pass just off though. Summersall, drop of the shoulder to drive forward. He's fouled. Billy Forbes brought him down. They'll embrace the center of the park after the foul by the center forward for Fuego. Anderson to chase. Dulles gets there first and can just chop it back to Lemus. Dabo. Ntalu wins it high up the field. Ntalu. Anderson. Big tackle. Louis Perez. Patient on the left. Saved by Lewis. Had some space on the edge of the 18. Let's see it again. It was well won by Ntalu, and he thought about maybe a first-time shot. Ended up taking some time. Maybe. Easy to say from this position. That first-time shot would have been a decent one to put on. As Ntalu fouling Razak Cromwell. Possession well in favor of Fuego. Falk. Lemus. Davo plays to Carrera Garcia centrally. Falk. He's been very central to things so far for Fuego. Carrera Garcia under a lot of pressure. Almost standing over it. He was fouled in the end. Quite some discomfort, and there's a bit of afters. Francois Dulis coming in. Didn't appreciate the extra tackle on his teammate. Match hasn't had an edgy element to it so far, but it is growing in here in the late stages of our first half. Carrera Garcia inviting a lot of pressure. Let's see it again. Whistle goes. Maybe a bit of extra naughty action there, but it wasn't spotted by the referee who was right there. Dulis came from quite a bit away. Don't want to say it was outright terrible, but definitely a little naughty there. Looks to be Mikey Maldonado, the man who was in a big duel with Carrera Garcia. Well, after it all, it's a free kick. You wonder if this is shooting range. Feels like it's just outside that spot where it's comfortable. Alex Anderson, though, continues to be in red-hot form on the road. 3 goals, 2 assists in his last 4 away from home. Scored last match at home. Scored today to open the score. There's a low option in the wall just behind it. They don't want the low shot from Razak Cromwell to be a threat. The shot, oh, just wide. Abdul Razak Cromwell trying to hook that one in, aiming for that top right corner. Brooks Thompson was there, but I wonder if that was a bit closer, if he would have been on hand to save it. In the end, though, after quite a bit of build-up, that one goes out for a goal kick. No shots on target yet for Fuego. A pair of them, including the goal from Alex Anderson in the 28th minute. Partida. Headed away. Pass too heavy, and it goes back to Partida. Dabo. Lemus back to Dulis. Razak Cromwell. Nice bit of skill. Gets past the first defender. Partida, his pass blocked away. It's clipped forward. Ntalu trying to make life uncomfortable. As is Alex Anderson, and Lewis just going to punt that one out of play. Didn't feel comfortable with the press high up the field. North Carolina, when they put themselves in a leading position, they are very strong this year. You see Edison Gonzalez trying to figure out what his halftime team talk is going to look like in match number 5 as the interim head coach. He's been with his team all year, but several changes throughout the campaign to the club's leadership. Touch out of the feet, the shot from distance, saved low. Lewis had to get there. What a strike it was by Nelson Flores Blanco. Blanco's shot just about dealt with by Lewis, still with North Carolina in possession. Perez brings it in, kicks it off his opponent. Victor Falk goes down a bit dramatically after a push. Let's see it again. You see the touch out of his feet and the shot from distance. You'd expect Lewis to make it, but he had to be alert, had to get low quick. The match beginning to develop a bit of an edge to it. There'll be another throw. Mikey Maldonado can try and toss this one back in. 6 in around the 18 as he tosses it in. Headed out. Flicked down. Victor Falk, maybe a chance to break. Omar Lemus powering up the right-hand side. He can come in field. Falk, his pass just under hit. Well read defensively. Gustavo Fernandez stepping up to win it back. That was Fernandez in a very advanced position. He'll begin to saunter back defensively. Summersall filling his spot in the heart of the defense. We have 3 minutes added on at the end of this first 45. Combination of the goal celebration, the injury stoppage for Olex Anderson, so we'll have 3 additional minutes. Intalu, bit of strength. Did Chavez touch that last? He did indeed. It'll be a corner kick for the visitors. Their first of the match will come in first half stoppage time. Maybe a chance to double their lead. It would be a very similar script for Fuego. They conceded last time out, 8th minute penalty against Northern Colorado. And then Marky Hernandez in the 45th plus 4 minutes of added time made it 2-0. Can they keep it at 1-0 on the first corner for North Carolina? Into the 18, headed away, top of the box, Maldonado. Back out wide, Perez. Great drop of the shoulder. Dragging it back, Maldonado! Dangerous, but it goes into the crowd. Had to go through a sea of players in front of goal. Not sure there was a ton that Paul Lewis would have seen about it. Puts it out after this initial pass out wide. So a slight slip by Lemus and just dragged back in the first time effort. Close, but just not quite there. Delise to Dabo. Maybe time for one last foray up the pitch. Oh, a massive coming together between Forbes and Summersall, both holding their faces. It's just a coming together between the two players. Forbes, a clever first touch to get away from Summersall, but his momentum is bringing the two players together. Maybe an opportunity for one last free kick, but both players need a bit of treatment before we can get to that point. You'll see it again, just great first touch. Coming together almost between the face of Forbes and the chest and the chin area of Summersall. Not fun for either player. Both players back to their feet, Summersall and Forbes. I think Summersall's making the case if he has to come out of the match, Forbes should as well. But as you can see on the left side of your screen, Summersall making his way back out onto the field. '49th minute of this first half. Victor Falk, a lot of shirts forward. Falk whips it in, headed away. Big clearance. The foul committed on that clearance. It'll be heading the way of North Carolina. Razak Cromwell trying to lean in to block it away. Olex Anderson winning the free kick. And able to fully dissipate the pressure late on in this first 45. See how much more of this first 45 we have left after about a minute of pause during our stoppage time. Cleared out, throw in. Referee glances at his watch. And we'll decide that is enough for our first 45 minutes. Whistle goes to the mouth of Olvin Oliva. And that is how things will conclude after our first half. Goal number 55 in a lot of senses for North Carolina, who currently sit top of the USL League One, trying to inflict further pain on confidence there in the whistle. We'll see how things progress in the second half, but it's halftime now. As things stand, North Carolina 1, Central Valley Fuego 0. We'll see how things progress after that goal from Olex Anderson Jr.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Halftime between Central Valley Fuego and North Carolina FC. Last weekend we saw three sides clinch their spot in the 2023 USL League One playoffs after one pivotal match last Saturday decided things. It was in Knoxville. One Knoxville taking on the Greenville Triumph. Entering the match, the two sides were either side of the playoff line in sixth place with 1 point to separate them. Things went in a positive way for the hosts very early on. A penalty given after a foul by Alan Gavilanes, but it's put onto the post. Ilya Illich not able to take full advantage of it, missing the PK, and that kept things at 0-0 early on. Knoxville knew they had a match extra played compared to Greenville. If they were able to win, though, they could have entered the top spots and made things a bit awkward for the Triumph, but they were able to score first for the third time this year against them. It was the same man who scored all three times, Leonardo Castro, making things 1-0 late on in the first half. That's how it would end. Greenville would win and secure the spots for the top three sides in the league. A game earlier tonight, also with big playoff implications, Ford Madison hosting Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado sitting top of the league entering the match today. A lot of opportunities for both sides, some really good keeping. This one, a great save by Bernd Schitten. It just gets big to block the chance one-on-one for Trevor Amman. A penalty given, able to be put in the box. A good opportunity, but again, a big save made. Delgado this time steps up big, and it's full-time, 0-0. Northern Colorado still top, obviously, but a chance to be overtaken. Let's look at some numbers and the sides that are already in our top three teams: Northern Colorado, Union Omaha, and North Carolina FC. 53 points. They played an extra game, the Hailstorm have, and there are some really interesting head-to-heads coming up with North Carolina taking on Northern Colorado this weekend, and then Union Omaha next weekend. Fuego, one of our teams in today's game, also playing Union Omaha this coming weekend. Now, these are the teams that are in the other playoff spots, but they've got to keep their spots and get some points moving forward. The Independents, a chance to break into that top 3 with 44 points themselves. Madison, their draw puts them at 42. And Greenville, the closest side for the Chasers, they've got 40 points with some sides that are going to be really interesting coming up. Northern Colorado, a tough one coming up next week. These are the teams that still have a chance. Knoxville and Tormenta will play this weekend. That's pretty much a 6-pointer for who can keep their pace and try and keep things going. Well, Lexington, they're in a fight for their lives. Every match important. Got to get the 3 points to keep themselves in the playoff hunt. They must win on Saturday to keep themselves in that playoff race. That's the playoff fight as things stand. A fascinating run to the finish here in USL League One. We got news and notes for you on the other side of this break on ESPN+.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Halftime between Central Valley Fuego and North Carolina FC. Some news and notes from across the league. The USL going to celebrate Hispanic Latine Heritage Month, a series of activations running all the way through October 15th. In Lexington, a coaching update. Nacho Novo, the new interim head coach, looking for their full-time guy as Sam Stockley going to be solely the sporting director moving forward. And Lalo Delgado, the 6th keeper to earn Player of the Week honors with a big 6-save, a shutout victory against Central Valley Fuego. You see him headlining Week 27 Team of the Week. Also from today's match, Raheem Summersall, a goal and an assist as part of a thrilling 5-goal match between both North Carolina and South Georgia Tormenta. 3 Tormenta players, Akoto, Akale, Fonseca, all making it into the Team of the Week as well, brought to you by eFootball. Those from the best players from Week 27. These are some of the best players on the season in terms of the goal scoring. Leading out, as always, with 20 goals, Trevor Emmon. Leading things now at 15, Olex Anderson. Could he chase him down? We'll see. Keziah Sterling, Atez Diouf, some great seasons for them as well, both with 12 goals up to this point. And just 12 goals in 18 matches for Keziah Sterling, a very impressive season. Arthur Rogers trying to fight off Tate Robertson. It's been a great year for Rogers in the assist category, trying to maintain his lead there against Robertson, trying to lead a comeback effort in terms of the playoff race for Lexington. He's been a great creator, though, in a variety of positions all across the field for now formerly Sam Stockley's side, still with the team obviously as the sporting director, been a great creator Tate Robertson has for that unit. Now looking at the Golden Glove race, 5 guys here. Austin Pack, most saves out of all of them with over 100 to this point. Sean Lewis, the fewest goals allowed average, and with both Delgado and Shipman, their teams fighting each other off for a 0-0 draw. They both get themselves some clean sheets. Shipman currently holding the league lead in that number with 12 as things stand. Jared Mazzola also in a decent spot, with Greenville trying to make themselves out with that number 6 spot in terms of the playoff standing. Some of the scores recently from both today and last weekend: Forward Madison and Northern Colorado, a 0-0 draw between those sides in our start of this new week of the USL League One. A big draw between Lexington and Charlotte, Northern Colorado, Union Omaha, both getting wins, as well as Greenville, and a comeback effort. 2 goals laid on, and the winner in the 94th minute for South Georgia over North Carolina. That was a thrilling Week 27 Saturday. We got 6 coming up next weekend. Should be a great one, especially an important one in the 4-5 spot. Charlotte taking on Forward Madison. Both of these previous matchups have been incredibly tight between these two sides. We saw the keepers in terms of their positions in the rankings for the Golden Glove race. That's Shipman with a great left-handed save. Pack leads the league in saves. Shipman leads the league in clean sheets. So the two of them incredibly talented between the sticks. As Austin Pack, you see the save getting low there. That one Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. Should be a really good one between the two sides. Currently 4th and 5th. The chance for Madison to surpass Charlotte, a chance potentially for Charlotte to try and further secure their playoff position. That one just wide from Christian Cheney, been a great player all year for them. This one looking up ahead, really interesting, staggered kickoffs. You're able to see a lot of the important ones. You saw Charlotte Forward Madison, Richmond against Greenville. That one with some important implications. Greenville trying to maintain their spot. Lexington, a must-win at home against Chattanooga. And a 6-pointer for the Chasers, Tormenta and 1 Knoxville. Union Omaha trying to stay at the pace. And probably the big one of the weekend, Northern Colorado against North Carolina, who currently hold the lead at halftime. Other side of this break, it's our second 45 between Fuego and North Carolina.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
At the back end of halftime here between Central Valley Fuego and North Carolina FC, let's look at our first half highlights from this one. Early on, a lot of opportunities, a lot of offsides calls against North Carolina. 6 times that first 45 they were found offsides. Constantly, Olex Anderson in the forwards for NCFC trying to toe the line. This one, a turnover, 4th minute. They had some opportunities. They had a lot of possession. Billy Forbes with the first shot for the hosts. That one going just wide of the goal, a corner kick given on that particular instance. But they had a lot of possession, a lot of ability to create some decent opportunities, especially Omar Lemus offering some support on the right wing back, overlapping position. Billy Forbes again getting involved, his header there, a tough one to try and crane towards goal. Couldn't put that one on frame. 12th minute now, brilliant switch of play, picks out Rafa Mensingen, and he's just dangerous in this right-footed spot. Coming in from the left wing, his low shot dealt with well by Paul Lewis on his debut. Had to make a few saves, and he's been able to stand up big in some decent moments. We've seen him twice already get in front of some of these. Here, 19th minute, this one, Luis Perez in this spot, incredibly dangerous. And making that run was Olex Anderson, gets one-on-one, and Luis again comes up big to his credit. Signed this week, brought into the club and being put in between the sticks, and he's come up big with some decent stops. This one just has to get big and get closing down on Olex Anderson. This one, though, would be the moment. Luis Perez able to play one over the top, finds Nathan Ntalu. We'll slow it down here. That one into the box. It looks like he's ahead of the defender as that one is being played in. We think potentially could have been offsides, but it's narrow. That's the game plan that they had for Olex Anderson Jr. Get on the last line of the defense, try and make things uncomfortable, and on that instance, it paid off with the first and only goal of our match so far. Possession, well in favor of Fuego, but they've been clinical going forward. North Carolina have more shots on target, as well as more offsides. They've been getting in and around the 18 with some major frequency. The two teams back out on the field.
When you hear that whistle, you know what to do.
Sharif J will be coming on to the match for Ruelas. That'll be our lone change at halftime. J coming on, the man from Senegal, trying to help shift things. Coming on a change up front in the forward areas. Ruelas not able to put a major imprint on that on the match so far is J with an early touch off the bench. Mensingen. Somersault. Lu Young back. You can see the records of these two sides again. Bottom of the league. Fuego trying to build something for the future, trying to establish the long-term roots of the club. North Carolina, as they prepare themselves for a leap back into the USL Championship, trying to make it a push into the top two. Potentially some title success. The lone goal of the match so far that has them top of the table currently is courtesy of Olex Anderson. Last match against Tormenta, entering halftime. They were trailing 1-0 North Carolina, where they scored 2 goals to turn it around. As you see, your live standings, the current top 4 with 53 points, tied with Northern Colorado after their draw earlier tonight. The tiebreaker, the win totals overall. Whipped into the box. It'll sit up for Lewis so he can go pick it up. Fuego had 60% possession in that first half, as you saw in the first half stats. So they're not going to be probably losing much of that, considering that North Carolina has a lead to protect. They're not going to stretch themselves too much. Razak Cromwell trying one forward. He's played this kind of quarterbacking role a lot throughout the match so far, just trying these long probing passes forward on the left foot as he just carries it up the left-hand side of the field. But with both Ntalu and Anderson in the attack, there's a lot of ability and speed in transition for North Carolina. So it doesn't matter if they don't have a ton of the ball. Once they get it, as you saw with the goal off of the short free kick, the quick free kick, they were able to make it work. Somersault. Mensingen driving inside onto the right foot. A curler. It's over the goal. Rafa Mensingen, he's got the green light in those spots. He's a talented player. 11 goals, 4 assists on the season. Likes to go onto that preferred right foot, try and drift infield. And he has scored many a goal in his career doing just that. Jay wins the header. Forbes can try and chase. Lu Young loops a kick over his head. No nonsense by Partida. He knocks it out. Appeals for a handball. Referee agrees, says Luis Perez hit it with his hand. Perez with the pre-assist on the goal scored. It is the justification for the petulant act you see whenever a free kick's given. Someone stands over it, stops it being taken quickly. That's exactly why you do it, at the risk of a yellow card for just time wasting, because you want to allow your team to get back defensively. But Luis Perez was quick. He was alert. No one was blocking the quick free kick option. Referee let him take it, and it had Ntalu in on the break, and he was able to pick out Olex Anderson in the box. Just textbook counter is the one goal of the match so far. And a really remarkable stat. Undefeated this season when leading at halftime is Ntalu. Was he fouled or was he committing a foul? The referee's whistle on this one, a judgment. And that will be heading the way, I believe, of Fuego. A lot of confusion amongst all the players, and obviously this tough stat for Fuego. Just one time this season, and the 16 times they've trailed entering halftime, have they been able to turn it around to a win. 3 draws in that time. Only 1 goal away from that. As Ntalu brings in Summersall, and he can offer it to Liu Young. Anderson pressing, commits the foul. Zach Cromwell with some authority, brings it back, and the referee may want to have a quick word with the left back. The match has, I don't want to say boiled over in any sense. The referee taking some time to make sure that tempers don't fray and nothing needs to be added on. In conversation with Chavez in the center defense. No action taken, still just a free kick for Fuego. Lewis to Razak Cromwell. Played in the channel. Forbes trying to chase it down. Here's Billy Forbes. Trying to curling pass in the box. Sits up. Lemus going to keep it in play. What a save. Staying big was Brooks Thompson. Got there, able to repel it away. Lemus did well to just keep it in play. Rafa Mensingen breaking some ankles coming in field. Saw Billy Forbes trying to create something there. He was part of one of those results they got from coming from behind. Fuego did on the road against Richmond. It was a 3-3 draw. We'll see it again here. Billy Forbes just dangerous with the outside of his left foot, curling it in, takes a nice deflection for the hosts. Brooks Thompson knew the angle was tight, had to just stand tall, and he did just that. Falk, he gets to Forbes, his pass a bit under hit. Big challenge by Dulis. Referee says that he got there cleanly, but it did come out to North Carolina in the end. Here's Blanco. Into the channel. Mensingen. Blanco on the overlap. Lewis looked a little worried about that. Was tracking over quickly, but in the end can slide to the ground, let it go out for a goal kick. Looking at some of the upcoming matches. Eastern time. Those times up there. Some big ones coming up this weekend. Greenville trying to maintain their spot in the playoffs. Keep themselves pushing forward. Lexington a must win at home against Chattanooga. Have to win if they want to keep themselves in the playoff push. Tormenta, Knoxville, probably one of the best games of the weekend for sure. Omaha against Fuego. That'll be the upcoming game. They do have a lot of implications. And then probably the game of the weekend, currently number 1, number 2 in the standings, Northern Colorado. We're taking on North Carolina. That's the next one for NCFC. And just talking to John Bradford before this one, asked him about if a trap game mentality can ever set in, if that ever needs to be something that's stated by the coaches. We'll get back to that in a moment. It's one back by North Carolina. Upcoming matches are against Northern Colorado and Union Omaha as Mensingen has it in the channel. Can check it back. Will it break kindly? Intalu gets there, trying to find its way to Olex Anderson, just couldn't quite get it to him. Pass forward blocked. And Falcon trying to chase it down. In the end out, throw for North Carolina. Anderson. Foul is given. Just to close the thought on the trap game, they know after the tormented defeat coming from behind that everybody wants the points more than anything. Can't take your foot off the gas at any point. They'll need to see things out for the final 30-plus minutes of this one against Central Valley Fuego to try and put themselves top of the table, entering the big clash against the Hailstorm on Saturday. A lot of travel, though, for North Carolina. They've first headed west to California. Free kick opportunity. Whipped in. Headed away by Chavez. Carrera Garcia can put a further foot through it. No nonsense defending, just knocked out of play. Forbes, heavy touch. Olex Anderson, foot race. Olex Anderson, just wide of goal. That's how quick it can flip, though, for North Carolina out of nowhere in a flash. He's in one-on-one and taking that shot first time. How many players have the level of confidence just on the hop? You got some time potentially, but he thinks now is when I pull the trigger. Headed forward. Mensingen trying to press. And Talu also offering a bit of pressing support. Bradford spoke very positively about his contributions in that aspect of the game, helping win the ball back for their first goal, for the Anderson goal, I should say, last time out. And Tyler registering his first proper assist for the goal today. Flag stays down, whipped in, actually rather comes up now. Offside's given. We can see this again from Olex Anderson. Just the absolute speed that exists here. Heavy touch, ball over the top, bam, he's in behind. Almost behind Chavez at first, maybe at the back of a foot. Just absolute laser up the field. And that shot, it's dangerous. Lewis really is not in a spot to plant his feet too confidently. So if he catches that one on goal, not necessarily bad decision making by the man who's got the goal so far today. Talu trying to hold the ball up. Does take it out of the foot of Dabo. He's on a yellow, has to be careful as Intalu goes across him. His pass taken off of him. Carrera Garcia. Play it to Forbes. Billy Forbes checks it back. Carrera Garcia. Jay trying to turn. Carrera Garcia trying to win the second ball. Maybe a chance to break. Some numbers committed forward for Fuego. Intalu. Mensingen. He's got some space on the near side. Rafa Mensingen. Top of the 18. Slides it. Intalu uses his body. Somersault from distance. It's blocked. Had a spectacular goal from range against Tormenta. Definitely a bounce in confidence. But ready to take the ambitious effort there. Lemus touches it down. Falk carrying towards goal, slides it. Partida. Carrera Garcia, top of the 18, low, blocked. Vital intervention, great chance. Jose Carrera Garcia just lingering at the top of the 18. Intalu, big sliding challenge. Referee points to the ball, says that enough of it was gotten. There's Nathan Intalu on the ground. They'll continue to play. Lemus. Shot blocked away. Sharif J. Trying one from outside the box. Blocked away his first shot since coming on at halftime. It'll be a corner kick. Our first of the second half for Fuego. Falk standing over it. Whipped in. Anderson gets ahead to it to put it away. Forbes. Put it back in the mixer. It's over everybody. It'll bounce out of play. Goal kick. You can see a pair of attacking subs being prepared for Fuego. Jesus Partida, his day will be over. Coming on for him, a man who scored the only goal against North Carolina this year for Fuego. That is Alexis Cerritos. He's dropped to the bench, and coming off will be Billy Forbes. And on, a man who has been brought in on a permanent basis now, Qudus Lawal. He's on a 25-day deal. Took some time, had some things to deal with. And now, on a more long-term contract for the rest of this year and moving forward for Fuego, he's on for Forbes now, and some subs for North Carolina can happen. Louis Perez off for Jaden Cervania. And Garrett McLaughlin coming on for Olex Anderson, the goal scorer. His day will end after about an hour. Common sub being made by John Bradford. Last game at halftime was McLaughlin off for Anderson. This time, McLaughlin on for Anderson at the hour mark. They made some great acquisitions in the offseason. North Carolina did to just add some depth up front, some really potent attacking options. Bringing on Garrett McLaughlin for Olex Anderson. From strength to strength, two players, both with 6 assists. 15 goals now for Olex Anderson. He got a goal today, the one of our match. Garrett McLaughlin with 6 on the year. Trying to add to his tally. Get some insurance for North Carolina. A pair of subs made by both teams. 3 overall now for Fuego. Just the 2 for North Carolina. Some fresh legs just after the hour mark. We'll see how it impacts proceedings down the stretch of this one.
Thank you for returning to our
McLaughlin, his first chance to chase, and then win a corner kick. Forces Francois Dulis to check over, head out of play. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Opportunity, corner kick. A line of white jerseys in the box. They break apart. Whipped in. Some fall to the ground. Qudus Lawal, his first touch coming on. Tried to take it down. Cervania onto the left in the 18. Defensively enough done. Cervania trying to track back, commits the foul. Jay gets there first, ahead of his opponent. Cerritos, his first touch since coming on. Qudus Lawal trying to slide over to Falk. His pass under hit. McLaughlin making a run, trying to support Ntalo after he played his pass to him. Just couldn't quite link up. Thabo, still the man with the only yellow card of our match so far today. Falk ropes this one in. Look into the box. A few shirts joining in. That one's blocked out. Corner kick. Big opportunity here. Victor Falk quick to get it set up. He'll be quick to take it. Fired in. Oh, over everything. That one impossible to attack, but there's that Cromwell. You wonder if the intention was almost a shot. In the end, it almost turned out to be one. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Talu chased down for that one. Defended well. Dabo, Lemus, nutmeg. Lemus fires it centrally to Cerritos. Cerritos has 8 goals in the year coming off the bench. 8 goals in the year, and he's coming off the bench. 2 separate thoughts there. Chavez brings that one in. Dulis. Falk. Carrera Garcia. That one just under the foot of Jay. It's cleared forward. Dangerous pass, and Talu gets ahead to it. Mensingen trying to chase it down. Big sliding challenge by Chavez. Got there first. Maldonado. Maldonado checks it back. Took a deflection though. Curtis Lawal carrying it. Sliding in. Maldonado. It's Jay rather. Will win the foul. Sharif Jay. Great work defensively. Combined with Curtis Lawal in the press. Wins the free kick. It's in a spot to serve it into the box if they want to. We'll see if they go quick. If they want to try and bring one in. Luis Arriaga will be coming in. Coming out, making his second start, Nathan Talu. Came off just past the hour mark against Tormenta at a similar time. Coming off now, Luis Arriaga. The man from Santa Rosa, California, will be coming on here now in Fresno. Falk over it. This match just 1 goal away from completely turning on its head again. Lot to aim for. As Falk whips one in over everybody though. The USL is celebrating Hispanic Latino Heritage Month with stories, events, and more, bringing to life this special celebration across the league. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage to learn more. One back, North Carolina. That'll be knotted down. Mensingen can pick up the loose one. Rafa Mensingen, 3 swarm around him, and they'll win it off him. Pass was maybe aiming in the direction of Jay, but it'll be overhit. And Brooks Thompson might force a sprint forward to make him pick up the ball. We tick now into the 70th minute. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN Plus. Been a pleasure to bring this one to you so far. Alex Anderson now on the bench, being brought up for Garrett McLaughlin. He's got our goal that has us at our current goal tally of 1-0 for North Carolina. Drop of the shoulder by Lou Young. His pass intercepted though. Falk gets to it. He'll win a throw. Luis Arriaga initially appears to have almost dropped off now into more of a 4-5-1 shape. But as I say that, also jumping up into a more attacking spot. He'll play off McLaughlin. Would make a lot of sense for North Carolina to bring more bodies into the middle of the park, make sure they don't get overran there as they seek to hold their lead away from home. They've done very well at holding leads once they've been leading at halftime, as that one's passed out of play by Lewis. These two teams entering the day, obviously very opposite ends of the spectrum on the table in terms of their form when this kind of situation enters in at halftime. Obviously 10 without a win for Fuego, but with the exception of this last match against Northern Colorado, they were scoring in all but other one of them, and they were all 1-goal games. They've been in all of their matches, they just haven't been able to see themselves onto the right end of things. The first match under Edison Gonzalez at Richmond, they did very well to come back from behind, took a 3-2 lead, conceded very late on there to make it 3-all. Drew with Lexington back here very recently as well. Falk. Cerritos fouled. Alexis Cerritos just a little too tricky for David Garcia. He fouls him. It's going to be a free kick. They've had a lot of opportunities, Fuego have. They haven't quite been able to shape one to major success up to this point in the match. Another sub for Fuego. Jesse Williams coming on. Coming off. Mohamed Dabo. Williams now able to trot on. What a way it would be to open up the match for him. He'll immediately get into the mixer for this free kick. Whipped in towards the back post, headed across, sits up. Oh, what a block. Vital from Gustavo Fernandez. Still alive here. Cerritos onto the left. Is it blocked? Is it a corner? Referee says no, it's a goal kick. Cerritos apoplectic. But it'll be a goal kick in the end. Let's see. Whipped in. Headed across. Just a powerful shot. Ooh, a close one. Arms on the body. Well done by Fernandez to just make sure he didn't have any reaction. And if the arm is tucked into the body, it's tough for the referee to take too much action against you. So well done by Fernandez. Hit him in the shoulder area, but very, very close. Clipped in behind. One for McLaughlin to chase. He has Mensing in the box. He'll get across the defender. He goes to ground. The referee waves him to get back up. Lemus, his pass just under hit. Behind. Flag stays down. Mensingen. Dangerous. Onto the right. Cervania. McLaughlin. Puts down one. Low left-footed. Off the bench. Garrett McLaughlin. The insurance goal. Fuego were threatening, but they've doubled their lead. North Carolina trying to move to the top of the table in great shape for that. With the goal from the substitute, his 7th of the season. Incredible patience. They worked it out to him on the right-hand side. Just a drop of the shoulder onto the left foot. We'll see it again. Again, it's a move forward quickly. Rafa Mensingen, the man, the point person this time, bringing it in field. Cervena could have taken a shot from here, decided to pass it off. McLaughlin fakes the first one. Lewis may have jumped his spot a little bit, preparing for the first time shot. And McLaughlin spotted it beautifully and able to just curl it in with the left foot. We'll see it one last time. Just dropping the shoulder. And that one in the bottom left corner. Very hard for Lewis to deal with. For the 3rd time this year, Fuego have conceded twice to North Carolina. First match back on May 5th here in Fresno. It ended 2-0 in favor of North Carolina. Second meeting was a bit one they had to work hard for in September, back on September 1st. At home, North Carolina had to come from behind, equalized. Cervena, who equalized this goal to make it 2-0. He scored the equalizer, and then DJ Benton with the winner in that one. Mensingen, they smell blood. They could search for more. Mensingen rolls it off. Cervena, brilliant move, flowing. Mensingen blocked away. It'll curl out of play. Probably some of the best attacking moves of the game so far have come in these last few moments for North Carolina. But Garrett McLaughlin, number 7 on the year, is what has us at 2-0. Mikey Maldonado. They've tried this long throw several times. What will happen here? Hits the shoulder of a North Carolina player, goes out of play. Looked to last touch Raheem Summersall before it went out for a goal kick. Been the story of the last few weeks in the season so far for Fuego. That one just rolling out of play from Lewis. Some solid opportunities, some solid play overall with good possession. But just a bit leaky at the back, and they've conceded now 2+ goals. Ninth consecutive match they've conceded multiple for Fuego. Not a recipe for success. Again with a long throw. Summersall trying to flick it forward. Cleared away. Cervena. Maldonado, his pass intercepted, but it might spin kindly for North Carolina. It'll spin kindly this time for Fuego. 3 in the attack. Qudis Lawal. Foul committed. Maldonado. Referee will produce the yellow card after Mikey Maldonado went in strong on Carrera Garcia and was a little slow. Maldonado now the second player to be booked in today's match. First for North Carolina. Points at the ball, but it's kind of a point in vain as he knew he was a step late. He'll be entering the referee's pocket. Has to be careful, but hate to lose his services for their ensuing trip to Northern Colorado. Williams. McLaughlin was well offsides, but his pass as he played it by Mensingen, he was fouled. So it'll be a free kick in the end for North Carolina. Rafa Mensingen feeling the effects there. Raheem Summersall, the captain, maybe making an appeal for a yellow card for one of the opposing players, but in the end the referee will keep the cards in his pocket. And it'll be a free kick for North Carolina. Mensingen trying the 1-2 with McLaughlin. Can't quite pull it off. Well stepped up by Maldonado. Cervania. Mensingen. They're ticking here. Cervania brings it under a spell. Driving towards the byline. Was he tugged down? Referee points to the spot. A simple call in the end. The yellow card produced. You saw the shirt being tugged. And a chance for 3 from the spot. Let's see it again. Cervania just standing up his opponent. Lot of shirt. When you see that much being pulled in the box, almost an easy choice. Francois Delis entering the referee's pocket, and the yellow card being given for the penalty. So Cervania wins it. Mensingen been a go-to penalty taker, and he'll hand it off to him. Won't be credited with an outright assist, but Cervania handing the ball to the man who could try and make it 3-0 for North Carolina. Two goals in his last 3 for Rafa Mensingen. A chance for 3 from the spot. Mensingen puts it in. 3-0 North Carolina. If there were any remaining doubts, that surely dispels them. They'll be heading top of the league after tonight.
North Carolina FC 3. Central Valley Fuego.
Goal for Mensingen. Makes it number 12 for him on the year. Their double-digit scores, adding further goals to their season so far for North Carolina. Olex Anderson with his, we'll see the penalty again here. He's able to bury that one. Tough to save even if he gets the right way, but Lewis, been a tough debut for him. There are a few sides more potent in the attack in the league than North Carolina. A very tough baptism by fire that he's experienced here in his debut for Fuego. Cutis Lawal, clever flick back to Cerritos. Falk. Free blows for a foul. McLaughlin. Mensingen onto the right. Brilliant footwork. Brilliant diving save to get in front of that one. Paul Lewis getting across to save that one from Mensingen. Stops him from a quick fire brace. Out wide, left-hand side. Carrera Garcia. So spin kindly. McLaughlin. Not a ton of numbers forward, and a lot of red jerseys streaking back. But they'll invite the opportunity to kill more time off this clock. Mensingen. Maldonado. Arriaga puts a foot in, wins the ball. Strong sliding challenge by Cerritos. Good footwork. can see both Max Flick and DJ Benton being prepared to come on. Further subs for North Carolina, just trying to make sure the legs stay fresh and fit. No untoward injuries down the stretch. Thinking about Saturday, they can look ahead now, worried about a trap game potentially. They can dispel those entirely. Nelson Blanco coming off. A pair of defensive-minded subs. Max Flick, DJ Benton, a pair of six-footed defenders. They'll be coming on for this one, trying to see out the result. Rafa Mensingen got the goal from the spot. Made it 3 goals in his last 4 games. Had 5 shot attempts in today's contest. Big challenge from behind the referee. Going to produce a yellow card. Victor Falk booked after a late foul on McLaughlin. A lot of frustration from North Carolina. Definitely a challenge bred in frustration for Victor Falk. That'll be a free kick for North Carolina. Zahir Vasquez will be coming on as well. Victor Falk, he will be getting the yellow card. Falk will. That'll be his last contribution to the match. He'll be coming off for Zahir Vasquez, the 23-year-old forward, going to be able to come on for the final 5 plus stoppage time. Vasquez tried it out. Cervania, a few options to pick out. Whips it in. Was that headed out of play? It was indeed. It'll be a corner kick. Wasn't anyone to challenge for North Carolina, but no nonsense, no risks taken by Fuego. Knocked out. Interesting stat. 3rd time this year. Alex Anderson and Garrett McLaughlin have both scored. We talked about in the Open the times they've assisted each other. That's happened 5 times this year. 5 times this year they've assisted each other. Never on the field at the same time today, but they both have scored and had a big impact. Whipped in for the corner kick. Lewis goes, claims the big punch. It's been a focus for John Bradford as well, talking to him before this one. They make sure they're not going to limp into the playoffs or be weak when that time comes around. They've confirmed their spot. They would love for it to be in a top 2 position. If they can win the league outright, just a bit of an extra boost of confidence, but they want to make sure fitness-wise still are without a few of their mainstay options that they would like to see and try and get some fitness under the legs. Nick Holliday getting some developmental time with the Academy before he comes back in potentially as Brooks Thompson, who's done a very good job in net. He's close to returning. Daniel Navarro, Luke Krull, some other options. Maybe an on-paper best center back pairing. This one's kicked out of play by Thompson. Not available. 2 balls on the field, so the referee will have to put a stop to that. No nonsense by Chavez, just clearing that one out. Ball was in play when it was turned over, or when the second ball came into play, so the referee with a drop ball. And Lemus keeps possession. You don't want to draw direct parallels between the 2 sides, but it should be noted last year, North Carolina, bottom of the table at the end of the year. made some big offseason acquisitions, switched some things around, but it wasn't just players they brought in. It wasn't a fresh group entirely. It was a group of players motivated from the season before. Bringing a lot of players in from the Chattanooga side that were runner-ups. They had both McLaughlin and Anderson, who, as John Bradford said, they developed an appreciation for what it takes to get 3 points. When that doesn't happen, it says when it happens 7 or 8 times across the course of a season, you realize how difficult it can be. This year, this one poised to be number 16 of the season already, and they're hopeful that a lot more will continue to come, and they'll continue to come in the late months of the year as Lemus driving forward. Low cross, it's blocked away. Into the channel, one for McLaughlin to chase. He's already got one off the bench. Trying one over the top. It was a dangerous idea. You just see the mentality, though. They're up by 3 goals, but Garrett McLaughlin trying to make sure his teammate's job is not weakened, not made difficult as we tick into the 90th minute. Just stoppage time before this one is confirmed. We'll have 3 minutes of it is what we're hearing in just a moment. 3-minute stoppage time for a 3-0 lead for win number 3 for North Carolina, who moved from 3rd into 1st with the 3 points. Garcia. Thumbs up from Cervania, didn't chase that one. The kind of ball where this is a 3-2 match, a 1-0 match, might be one that he chases. But at this point in the match, the bulk of the work has been done. Fuego made it difficult. They kept the ball very well, over 60% of possession. But North Carolina continued to prove that they are a very threatening team on the counter. Flicked forward. Garcia can just slide it back to Thompson. Twice he scored directly off of counters. Cervania winning a penalty on a counterattack situation as well. Something that bodes very well as the flag goes up against McLaughlin. Come playoff time, the capacity to just move forward quickly, create chances out of nothing. Something that will translate very well, and defensively being sound, as they have been today, North Carolina. Another value that will translate very, very well come playoff time. We can begin to look forward for these two sides as well. North Carolina, they did well to make sure they didn't overlook this match, see it as a trap game, and have back-to-back results where they didn't get the 3 points. Because next up, they're facing off with their bye rivals, we'll call them, Union Omaha and Northern Colorado. Big one this weekend coming up. This Saturday, they'll be on the road. Probably their 2 biggest trips of the year, just distance-wise, and also in terms of magnitude. Just getting the 3 points to put themselves top of the table here. And then they'll travel now to Northern Colorado. Into the box. One-on-one, Lewis comes and claims. Had to step up and win that one after the dribble into the box by Flick. Fuego, they'll hit the road as well in their match. Again, will have implications for the top of the table. They'll be on the road against Union Omaha, who are in a great vein of form themselves. This one is looping over everybody out for a goal kick. But a very tough run of games last time out against Northern Colorado. Today against North Carolina. Next up against Union Omaha, just 3 in a row against the top 3 in the league. It is interesting how the league has broken itself up into quarters, more or less. Top 3 teams in their own race, and the further 3, and then 3 teams still available in it. The referee will blow for full time here. That will do it. North Carolina head to the top of the table. On the road, they win for the 3rd time this year against Fuego. They get the 3 points. And heading into the weekend, John Bradford's North Carolina will sit top of the USL League One. We can check out some of our moments of the match that have gotten us to this point. Most important plays of the game, our save of the game. They were peppered on goal a lot throughout the game. Fuego were a lot of saves needed to be made. 6 of them were made on his debut. This is the American Business Machine's save of the match. It kept it at 0-0. Coming off his line very well was Paul Lewis. just getting big on this one. You could see it progress very well for North Carolina. Louis Perez able to pick his head up, slide one in behind one-on-one, and just dragging that right leg, able to make a big save with the right knee. Brought in this week and put under a lot of pressure. Embracing with his opposite keeper, Brooks Thompson. Paul Lewis, though, final moments there. Final score in this one, North Carolina 3, Central Valley Fuego 0. Highlights, more content to come after this break on ESPN+.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back at Fresno State Soccer Stadium, where North Carolina have secured top spot for now in the USL League One with a 3-0 win over Central Valley Fuego for their third win of the year. Your American Business Machines man of the match for Central Valley Fuego, Billy Forbes, continues to be a very threatening presence up top. Pair of shots on the match, most expected goal threat on the day. A lot of touches in the opponent's box. Had a difficult task for it today. We can check out our play of the match as well. Almost a goal coming here on a really nicely progressed move. Again, Billy Forbes, our man of the match, whipping that one in. Takes a nice deflection, picks out Omar Lemus. That save, well done by Brooks Thompson. Could argue that is one of the plays of the match as well, but it's well dealt with after Omar Lemus in the overlapping right back position put one just on frame. A tough one for Fuego as they fall to defeat yet again. Nice moment between Forbes and Garcia. They dueled throughout the match. Had a lot of times the center back and the forward embracing after the 3 points head the way of North Carolina. Let's check out the goals after full time between North Carolina and Central Valley Fuego. Our first one, the quick free kick taken, very well done. Nathan Intalu running the channel cleverly. Maybe offsides, hints of it, but Olex Anderson didn't worry himself about that. He put it in the net and let that rest deal with itself. But Olex Anderson in the first half made it 1-0. Then off the bench, there was some nice contributions. Rafa Mensingen going to run the channel very well again. Here on the left-hand side, they're going to shift from left to right in a flash. They get it to Garrett McLaughlin. The drop of the shoulder and the left-footed shot is dangerous. Puts it in the bottom left corner, and his goal off the bench. His 7th goal across the campaign. Both him and Anderson scoring in the same match for the 3rd time this season. That made it 2-0. He felt confident that North Carolina would see it out from this point with their 2-0 lead, but taking no risks. Cervania driving in the box, making things uncomfortable. Assisted the 2nd. You could argue he assists the 3rd, wins the penalty that eventually Rafa Mensingen been in great form this season. He had 11 goals entering today, 2 in his last 3, and he makes this one in for the 3rd goal of the game, his 3rd in his last 3, and his 12th of the season. Made things 3-0 after this one. That one secured every shadow of the doubt that could possibly exist. 15 shots, 9 on target, 3 in the back of the net for North Carolina. Despite a lot of possession for Fuego, very stout defensively, limiting them to just 7 shots, and the lone shot on target dealt with by Brooks Thompson in net. And your standings as well that you can see here after this one, very important. Still bottom, Central Valley Fuego, but 3 points for North Carolina will push them to the top of the table, and we can look forward as well. A big weekend coming up in that bottom right of your screen. Northern Colorado facing off with North Carolina, the big one to come up, and we can also look elsewhere. Hitting the road against Union Omaha will be Central Valley Fuego. That game 5 p.m. Pacific time on the road this Saturday on ESPN+. Some big ones coming up as all 6 teams again play this coming weekend. It was a thriller, though, from Fresno. the 3 points heading the way of North Carolina for the third time this year. They complete the sweep for the first time in history between Central Valley Fuego and North Carolina FC. 3 goals, 3 points, top of the table. Not much more you could ask for John Bradford and company. For myself, Jack Edwards, and our entire production crew, that does it from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Final score, North Carolina 3, Central Valley Fuego 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.